Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about this Primary Arms GLX 1:10 by 24 first focal point. Okay, so this is probably my favorite Primary Arms scope. Okay, it's my favorite scope. Okay, I got of all the scopes I have, it's my favorite scope. But there are some problems with it. Okay, I absolutely love the reticle. I love that it's a 1:10. Okay. But yeah, there's definitely some shortcomings, and you know, I gotta share that information with you guys because that's what I do. Okay, so the latest problem that I've encountered, okay, is that when you're trying to reset the zero on the turrets, both on the elevation and the windage, the Allen key that they give you, right, this little tiny Allen key, it's like a 1.27 I think millimeter. It does not fit the Allen screw. So the you know, the Allen key standard, because I've actually tested it out with other sets. Like I got one over here that's you know, I can see on here, where's that, millimeters, yeah, 1.27, this guy right here. So I've used both this Allen key and the one that they sent me, okay, and what happens is when you try to tighten down the turrets, the Allen key spins in place. Okay, now it's not going to start spinning in place until you actually try to apply some tension. Okay, so if you're just holding, like, let's say the exposed turret cap that they give you, and you stick the Allen key in there and you're spinning it, yeah, it looks like it's going to fit. But when you try to actually lock it in place and apply some pressure, it starts spinning in place. So I know that it's not the Allen key. The Allen key itself is standard. It's a 1.27 millimeter because I've been able to match it up to a separate set. So the problem is with the Allen screws, okay? The hole where the Allen key inserts to is maybe a 1.3 millimeter, right? I'm just guessing there, but we got a 1.27 millimeter Allen key trying to go into a 1.3 millimeter hole, okay? And it's not working. And if you try to go to the next, if you try to go one up, which is the 1.5, that's too big. It's not going to go in the hole at all. And I've tried using the 1/16 Allen key, that's not going to fit. Now I have been able to lock down these turns. What I did is I put the Allen key in there. I don't want to take that out of the bag and lose it. What you do is as a temporary solution, what you do is you put this in there and you apply sideways pressure. Okay, it's going to bend a little bit. Apply a little bit of sideways pressure, and that will kind of get it to grip the hole and turn it. Don't put any Loctite, because I was going to apply like a low power 222 Loctite, right? Like a low strength thread locker. Don't do it, because then you're never going to be able to get it out, because you don't have an Allen key that perfectly fits that hole. Okay, so I've been talking to Primary Arms. I mean, there's been many emails going back and forth. Some you know, some communication problems. First of all, because at first I wasn't exactly sure whether the problem was with the key or with the screws or with the caps, you know. So I've narrowed it down, because they did send me some replacement caps, and I can see, okay, even the replacement caps, they have the same size screws, same size Allen key. So the problem is with the hole that the Allen key goes into. It's a little bit bigger. It's like a 1.3 millimeter. So you got a 1.27 millimeter Allen key going into a 1.3 millimeter hole. Okay, so that's what the problem is. So they're, you know, we're still trying to figure out a solution. They may have to actually mill me out a key, right? They might have to take like a 1.5 millimeter and maybe like shave it down to like a 1.3 or something. And I don't know if 1.3 is the exact size. I told them that they need to, like, not just insert the key in there and turn it with different, they need to like actually try and install it on the scope, like apply some tension and actually try to lock it down to see if it's actually going to grip it, or if it's going to start spinning in place once they apply some tension to it. Okay, so I have many primary arm scopes. I have not had this problem with my PLX or with my 5 to 25 that also have this Allen screw system of setting the turrets or the zero stop. So this is the only scope that I have seen this on. Now I've spoken this 1 to 10 by 24. This is a low production run, so they haven't put out a whole lot of these. So they probably haven't had enough feedback from a whole lot of people out there to try and troubleshoot this, and basically they haven't had the feedback. As far as I can tell, I'm really like one of only 2 people that putting out videos on this scope, and I think it's something that, the reason why I'm doing this is because I think it's a great concept, and I would like to see an improved version of this. Okay, so let's just do a summary of some of the issues that I've run into. This is the second scope I received from. The first one had a parallax problem. I think primary arms LPVOs are all supposed to be parallaxed for 100 yards. Well, the first one that I got in was like parallaxed for like 10 yards. So at 10 yards, I could get like a crystal clear picture of like an ant, on the dirt over there. But then if I went to 200 yards, okay, what would happen is I couldn't focus the reticle and the target simultaneously. And if I went to a different magnification, it was a complete blur. So that was a parallax problem, and they replaced the scope. Okay, so that's the first issue I had. Second issue I had was the Allen key not properly fitting the Allen screws. Okay, so the two don't match up together. Okay, and the third issue I've seen with the scope, and I think this is more of a design issue, and I think this is a consequence of having a 1 to 10 power LPVO. So although the eye relief is somewhat forgiving, it's like 4 to 5, like 4.5 inches. But what happens is, even though here's the thing, 4 to 4.5 inches out, you can have good eye relief. But if your head is not in the perfect position, what you're going to see is in 1X, okay, you're going to see some distortion at the outer edge of your scope, okay, in the outer edge of your field of view, and it's like as much as like the outer 20%. So you have to get your head in exactly the perfect position. If that's not an issue and you're just you're not trying to see the outer edge, that's fine. You can still work with the scope being out of the perfect position, okay? But that's not something. Oh, I got to pause the camera. It's like a helicopter coming overhead. Okay, yes. So as I was saying, with the 1 to 10, okay, first focal plane, your head has to be in the perfect position so that you don't see some distortion on the outer edge. If you're, when you're in 1X. Now, if you go up to like 1.5. then it goes from like the outer 20% to like the outer 5%. And if you go up to 2 magnification, right, then this disappears completely. So you're only going to really notice this when you're in 1X, but at the same time, it's still usable. Like even if I come up on this, open up the cap. Even if I come up on this, like I can get on target pretty easy, right? Even if so I really have to move my eye to the outer edge and like focus on something, and then I can see the distortion. So that distortion is livable, but I think that's the reason why they're doing a low production run on this, right? Because I think a lot of people aren't going to be willing to live with that outer edge distortion. One of the nice things about this is that when you look in here, the scope wall is actually pretty thin. Like it's a lot closer to the PLX versus the SLX as far as how much of the outer wall you see, right? So, but if you get to the edge, right, and your head's like right now, my head's not in the perfect position, and I can see some distortion. If I move it up a little bit, it clears up. So very picky with that, and so anyway, that's the feedback I wanted to share with you guys. But overall, I like the scope. I like having 10 power. For me, this is primarily a distance shooting scope. with a close quarter capability. Okay, so I'm more interested in the ability to shoot at distance, and that 10x does offer a nice advantage, right, versus my 8x. Because I got a PLX 1 to 8. 10x does give a nice advantage. It's just that when you're in 1x, you're giving up something there, right? You're giving up. It's not even like that it's distorted. It's like your head has to be in the perfect position so that you don't see a little bit of distortion. Okay, so drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to y'all soon.